and I am the Associate Director of Partnerships in the Office of Alumni Relations. I'm also assisted today by my colleague Jovan Kafua, who is a program coordinator in Alumni Relations. So I want to welcome you all to our first webinar in 2017 featuring our benefits partners. And this particular webinar will feature STA Travel. And to begin, I want to ask all of you participating to type your full name, class year, and where you are tuning in from in the chat box so we have a better idea of who is joining us today. And you can do that right now while I finish my little spiel. For this webinar, we're going to save all questions until the end, but please feel free to type questions into the chat box throughout the presentation whenever you have them, whenever they pop into your head, and we'll compile them and address them all at the end. So today I'm thrilled to have Daisy Biddle, Business Development Manager of the Northeast region at STA Travel, joining the Northeastern community to help us get the most from our travel in the new year. So whether you travel for business or pleasure, domestically or internationally, or just want to learn how you can make planning your travel more fun and less of a headache, Daisy and STA Travel are here today to help. So I look forward to learning these travel hacks along with the Northeastern community today. And Daisy, you can take it away.
Great, thanks so much, Bethany. So let's jump right into it. Like Bethany said, my name is Daisy Biddle. I'm the Business Development Manager for the Northeast region for STA Travel. I'm also a Northeastern alumni, so that's exciting to be back on campus. Today I hope to cover a little bit about who STA is, give some travel products and services that we can help you guys with, whether you are traveling for pleasure or for business, and then give some travel hacks, and then at the very end we can take some of your questions. So who is STA Travel? STA Travel is really known as the world's largest and leading student and youth travel agency. But that does not mean that we can only book travel for students. It's probably the biggest myth that there is out there. We can book travel for really anyone. Now, STA Travel does have specific contracts that are created just for students or for people between the ages of 18 and 30, but we can go more into that, and if you have any questions at the end, we can definitely address them. So STA Travel is a global company. Our world headquarters is in London in the UK, but our US headquarters are actually in Chandler, Arizona. So that's where all of our travel experts sit. Our travel experts are also known as our travel agents. They are your go-to people. In fact, they're my go-to people as well when I'm doing any sort of travel. They sit in Arizona. They're incredibly well-traveled, and it really is what sets us apart from other travel agencies across the U.S. They are available at any time for you to give a phone call or email to if you choose to contact us in that way. Otherwise, you can always go to our website. STA Travel is known for its exclusive air and land contracts worldwide. We've been in business for just under 40 years, and because of that, we've been able to secure some pretty amazing contracts with travel vendors globally. This allows us to have really flexible tickets and really great competitive priced hotel, tour, rail travel, any sort of really product like that, you name it, we've got an amazing contract for it. For people who are students currently or really considered in the youth market, which is up to the age of 30, we do have exclusive airfare deposit programs. What that means is that you have the ability to put down as low as $49 on the price of your airline ticket, hold that ticket, and then have until 7 days prior to departure to pay that ticket off. It's a pretty amazing program, and like I said, it's exclusive to STA. STA Travel does have a 24/7 travel help. This means that at any point you have any questions about the purchase that you've made, whether you are in country or just pre-departure or even post-travel, please give us a phone call or an email, and we're there to help you. We don't want you to go through the travel process by yourself. If and when you do need us, we'll be sitting in Arizona, and that's who you'll be contacting. STA also is known for partnering with some really great leisure travel vendors, and that's, a lot of these times they do cater to the ages of 18 and 30, but that doesn't mean that we're limited to booking travel. We'll give a couple of good examples a little bit further on in the presentation. So when you look at STA and what our core products and services look like, we first and foremost have to look at airline tickets. We have incredibly competitive airfare, both domestically as well as internationally. We are known for our flexible terms and conditions, in particular for our student and youth fare. We do have a price beat guarantee, so if you are finding a less expensive ticket on another travel agency's website, please screenshot that and give one of our travel agents a call, and they will most likely ask for that screenshot. And like I said, we will beat the price if it's a legitimate fare. STA also works with group travel and business travel, so if you are looking to plan a trip with up to 10 or even more participants, please give us a phone call. We're more than happy to help you out. Those types of tickets are different than our individual contracts, and we have a dedicated team ready to work with you. We do have blue tickets. Again, those are exclusive tickets for students and youth travelers. So again, youth can go up to 30, and sometimes our contracts can go even higher. So if you're a graduate student, this is a really great ticket to be taking advantage of, and those are really, truly our best and most flexible tickets. We do have Live Abroad resources as well, so whether you are a graduate student or recently graduated and you'd like to do an international semester, we have partners to do that. We also have Au Pair, Teach English, and BUNAC as resources for you. Again, you don't have to be a student to take advantage of the majority of these. A lot of times, they do require that you have been in school for about 12 months previously, but like I said, Teaching English, Au Pair, those are things that really can go across many age ranges. We then have access to about 1,500 other products, so that includes tours. Those can be bus tours, they can be rail tours, they can be walking tours. We can do accommodations, anything from hostels all the way up to 5-star hotels. We do work abroad and volunteer programs, and then spring break for any of you graduate students that are still out there and you're lucky to have a little spring break. Or if you've got students, and children who are still looking to plan spring breaks, we can certainly assist with that. STA also offers discount travel access cards. These are year-long policies and cards. These are great if you're a student, youth, or a teacher. And then, of course, our exclusive program, our airfare deposit program, it deserves a call out all of it on its own. These are $49 non-refundable deposit options on international flights. If you do want to take advantage of this, you do have to give us a phone call and talk with one of our travel experts. All right, so we are going to talk a little bit about the under 30s and the students. We'll do this really quickly. We've touched on a lot of this before, but again, this is really where most of our, where our really flexible contracts are coming into play. We are the round-the-world experts. We were one of the first, if not the first, company that came up with the idea of round-the-world travel tickets. So please give us a phone call if you are interested in doing this. Again, this goes above, if you're above 30 and you're looking to plan that round-the-world trip, we can certainly help you do that as well. But when you give us a phone call or send us an email, you'll work with an expert who has possibly done the same exact route that you are doing, or be able to help you with where you want those stopovers to be. STA also provides a multi-flex pass. This means if you are going on a longer trip and you think that you're going to need to change your ticket multiple times, purchase a multi-flex pass, and this allows you to have a much lower change fee right off the bat, and then you have the option of changing your ticket multiple times, and the only extra fee would be the change in airfare difference. And then, of course, blue tickets. These tickets are the most flexible of ours. They allow you to have the $49 deposit. They are also, they do have low change fees as low as $75 per change plus the airfare difference. So again, these are just a couple of options for airline tickets for any of those travelers if you are 30 and under. So let's get into the travel hacks or the travel tips. And again, this is a small snapshot of really from our travel experts themselves. So let's start off with booking. I'd say the #1 question any of us get at STA would be, when is the best time to purchase my flight? There's no magic bullet to this, unfortunately, but we can give the general guideline that if you are looking at a domestic flight, you're looking about 2 to 3 months prior to departure. That's when we find what you're finding the most consistent and the most competitive rates. Again, there's exceptions to every rule, but generally speaking, when you're looking at a domestic ticket, that's a good time frame to be aiming for. Now for those international flights, generally speaking, that magic window is about 4 to 5 months. That doesn't mean that a ticket, an air carrier is going to have, they could have that amazing flash sale a month prior, but it is a risk that you are going to be taking. Cheaper doesn't always mean better. I think this is really, really important when you're looking and doing your research on your airline tickets. We understand, and trust me, I understand that it's very, very appealing to go for that cheapest airline ticket. But it's really, really important that you're looking at all of the additional fees associated with low-cost carriers. That's something that one of our travel experts would be happy to go through with you and really help you better understand what sort of ticket you are purchasing. Some of our student tickets, they might have a little bit more of a price point, but again, you're paying for flexibility. For the most part, our tickets are going to be the least expensive, but not all the time. So it really is important, if you're going to want that flexibility and if you think you might need to change your ticket, ask about what those change fees are going to be. In the long run, getting a very inexpensive ticket with a $300–400 change fee might not be the best route for you. Avoid booking before determining travel plans, as change fees can get expensive. Again, this feeds right into what we were just talking about. Multiplex passes really come in handy in this, but really if you're booking one of our youth tickets, a lot of times our change fees are going to be quite low. It seems like, kind of obvious that you should be determining travel plans, but it happens quite a bit where people will book a ticket and just not think through those dates all the time. Again, it's really, really helpful to talk with a travel expert when you are booking this, and sometimes they can tell you, you might have a 24-hour window to make any changes, and so on and so forth. But then also talk about what are the change fees, what happens if you need to come home early, what happens if you have to cancel. All of those things can be really helpful when you have someone else on the other line. So direct is not the same as nonstop. Again, this is something that I only learned when I joined STA a couple of years ago. A nonstop flight is what it sounds like. It is nonstop from point A to point B. Direct is not. Direct means that you'll get from point A to point B, but you might have a hidden stopover. We will notify you if that's going to be happening, but sometimes it's good to know and so that you don't have a surprise. Our agents, for the most part, will tell you to avoid mixed carriers. You really want to be sure that you are booking tickets on the same carrier, because if you are having multiple stops or if you're having a long flight, if something happens with a delay or a cancellation, you can really get in a tricky spot when you've booked different legs on different carriers. So if one gets canceled, sometimes it can be difficult to get rebooked if you are not booking on a similar carrier. Again, STA will help guide you in that process. So you're now interested in going on your trip or on your business trip, wherever you're going. Our recommendation is, for when you're looking at the dates of travel, if you have that flexibility, really try to have a Monday through Thursday. Again, for those of you who are very travel savvy, you might have already figured this out, but weekend travel is typically very, very pricey. So if you are able to travel on that Monday through Thursday, you'll really, for the most part, will find the lowest costs for tickets. And traveling in the low and shoulder season can help save on your flights, accommodations, and activities. Again, not every destination is going to be on the same sort of season that we are on. You give us a phone call or do some research. See when the off-peak times are. If you're really on a budget, it can be a really great time to be flying. And then typically once you're in those destinations, you might not have as many tourists around, and it might actually be a really wonderful time to be traveling, to really get to know where you've just landed for your weeks or months of travel. Our number one, I think, suggestion from a lot of our travel experts would be take advantage of the stopovers, particularly if you have the flexibility in travel. Ask us a question about, is there a way to do a 24, 48-hour detour in the city en route to where you're going? Let's say you're booking a travel to Australia. Try booking on Air New Zealand and do a stopover in New Zealand for a couple of days. There are many, many different destinations and many, many carriers like that for us to be able to say, hey, have you tried going to this? Have you thought about going to this destination? If not, let's try to book you there for a couple of nights, and then you'll just go back to the airport and finish up your flight. This can also be true for trips to Europe. Let's say you want to go to Germany, but maybe you'd love to do a stopover in London. Booking with British Airways might be the way to go so that you can have that layover in London, have us book you a weekend or a couple of days in London, then go back to the airport and then fly to the end destination. And then, of course, be ready for delays. It is part of travel. These things will happen. If you are really looking at a big weather delay, if you're looking at a delay in the airport, you can always give Travel Help a call. We'll do our best to try to rebook you and help you, guide you through the process. So now let's look about land. So land travel really is anything but the air. So it's your rail, it's buses, it's hotels, it's tours. So STA can help book any of those parts of your trip. I'd say definitely if you're going for a long-term trip, or even if you're going just for a week, take a look at some of the rail travel options to where you're going. If you're looking in Europe, it's a really great way to see go to see in many different countries, but then also see them in a really unique way and see the countryside of various countries that you're going to. And it's a really great way as well to save some time and money to see multiple destinations over a short period of time. If you're feeling particularly adventurous, think about doing an overnight train. It's a really great way, again, to save some money so that you're not paying for a hotel, but it also means that you're being able to take a part of that travel time and doing it overnight. This can really help so you can maximize your daytime in the cities that you're looking to go to. Hostels. I think a lot of people think they're student only, and they certainly are not, but it's a great way if you're doing particularly a long-term trip or if you're trying to travel on really on a budget. Many, many hostels have private and twin rooms in addition to the larger dorms that you kind of think about when you were thinking about student travel. And again, they are typically cheaper than a hotel. They are more centrally located a lot of times. And again, they can be anything from a very basic room to a pretty chic place to be staying. Our travel experts have stayed in many, many hostels, so feel free if you have a question about one of them, give us a call. It is good once you know where you're going and you've booked your air, look for last-minute travel deals before departure on day trips and city passes. Again, this is something that STA can help do. We also have stores across the world, so if you ever are traveling through a country where you see an STA shop, feel free to stop in and see if they have any discounted city passes, or just give us a phone call and see, if there are any last-minute discounts that we are running to the location that you're traveling to. We also would recommend a group hop-on, hop-off tour or pass, or just even try a tour where you're doing a bus or rail travel. Again, we've got lots and lots of products and services that we have really ready to walk you through, whether you're looking for a giant bus of 40 students or you're looking for a group of 10. And really, we can fit in no matter what your age range are. And again, as a quick call out again to our Book Now, Pay Later, this can also apply to some of our tour options. So just to give some land inspiration, one of our partners is Bus About, and they give hop-on, hop-off tours. What you do is purchase a pass, and then it gives you the flexibility to travel by yourself or with the group. You can stay in, let's say, Berlin for 2 nights and head on to Amsterdam. You might love Amsterdam and decide to stay a week, and then you can move down to Bruges when you're ready. And if you don't like Bruges, then move down to Paris, and then you'll have the flexibility to choose how long you're staying in each destination. These are giving a few options of some of our European loops that we can sell through Bus About. And it's a great way to see a lot of Europe. It's a great way if you are traveling by yourself to make some new friends, but then also give you that flexibility of being an individual traveler and really stay where you would like to stay. You do also have the option to book your own accommodations or use some of the recommendations that Bus About can give you. G Adventures is a great option for small group travel. This is an example of a Thailand on a shoestring tour. So again, this is not one of your massive, 30, 40 people on a bus. As you'll see, it's a small group. It's about 16 people maximum. And this is really a great way to do a trek through Thailand, see it with the locals, really engage in the culture of Thailand. You can see over here where our prices start, and really you can secure your spot with $250 on one of these trips. And again, this is a 16-day trip with a small group. It would be great if you want to go hiking, canoeing, if you would love to do like some outdoor adventure travel. G Adventures is really, really awesome for satisfying that need for you. And again, you can travel individually on this or have one of your friends travel with you. And just give us a phone call and we'd be happy to help walk you through what the dates of these trips are, but then also what other options are out there. For working and travel abroad, we can certainly help you do that as well. We are a partner with BUNAC, and what that means is that we're able to provide an option to intern abroad or work abroad. We can do this in Australia, New Zealand, England, Ireland, and Canada at the moment, but then we also have some good volunteer options as well. And STA is there to help provide both the travel to these destinations, but also help you connect with you and connect with BUNAC to help set this up. And volunteering abroad, and if you're not just interested in doing a typical trip where you are doing the tourist route, we certainly can help partner with you to do some volunteer organizations and do either a week, a month, whatever you're looking to do. We do have some options so that you can help give back to the communities where you are traveling to. So then 5 tips for traveling smart. Definitely when you are planning any sort of travel, particularly abroad, it is our recommendation that you register your plans with the State Department STEP program. So again, that if there is an emergency abroad, the State Department does know where you are. Certainly read up on the safety and travel information wherever you are traveling to. It's very important that you are making sure that you're having the vaccinations that you need before you're traveling, that you understand the local laws and travel warnings on the State Department website. We always recommend that you blend in with the locals. Certainly take a look before you go and do some research on what is appropriate dress before you are about to land in a country that you're not so familiar with. It's also really important to make sure that you are not making any faux pas in the countries that you are traveling to. We do recommend that you, of course, leave valuables at home. Depending on where you're traveling to, maybe leave your laptop at home, your jewelry or expensive items. Otherwise, make sure that where you are traveling to does have a safe so that everything can be safe while you're out exploring the cities that you're traveling to. Secure luggage. Again, always be sure that you are traveling with a small lock. And then also, ensure that you are being careful about where you are traveling, whether you are with a zippered bag and a backpack. Make sure that everything that is valuable to you is really on your person, and just being aware of your surroundings. And make sure you have the cash and credit cards and everything is set up before you go. We always recommend that you have a copy of your credit card numbers and telephone numbers in case that you need to cancel them, and make sure they're not just the copy that you have them written down and that other people are aware, back home, so that you can always contact them should there be an emergency. And always good thing to have a travel wallet or money belt as well, so that you are keeping your cash and your valuables as close to you as possible. We also always recommend that you notify your credit card company and bank before you are traveling abroad, just so that your card doesn't get shut off while you are traveling, and it can be difficult to get them to turn it back on, or if you don't have easy access to a telephone. Again, always good thing just to put a red flag up so they're aware that you are traveling. STA does also have travel insurance. We do think it is really important that you have some form of travel insurance, particularly if you're traveling abroad for a long period of time, because things can happen. You can have delays, you can have your cell phone stolen, so on and so forth. You can get sick, things happen. STA can provide travel insurance to you. We've got various levels of it and various options. So again, always give us a phone call or email, and we're happy to walk through those options for you and what would be the best fit. So how to book with STA. So like I said, STA can book travel for anyone. And in fact, we've partnered with Northeastern Alumni to provide an exclusive discount code for any of your travel. STA can be contacted online on our website at statravel.com. We can do over the phone, you can email us, or you can actually visit us in New York City at 722 Broadway between Washington and Waverly, and our travel experts there would be happy to sit down with you. And we do have a promo code exclusive to Northeastern Alumni. It is NUA, and that will give you $30 off your booking. Certainly, if you're going to be booking online with that promo code, we recommend that you go to the co-branded site with Northeastern University. But again, you can always give us a phone call or email and just identify as a Northeastern alumni and give them the promo code, and it automatically will take $30 off. And of course, we'd love to connect with you on STA Travel on our social media. So please go to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and follow us. The fun fact about Instagram is all those photos are actually coming directly from our travelers. So if you'd like to be featured, go ahead and try to tag us in something, and maybe we'll see your photo on there next. We also have our 24/7 customer service on social media as well. So if you would like to go and get more information, go to @STA Cares. You can always tweet with us. If you have any questions, we're also trying to keep that as updated as possible with some travel alerts. But again, you can always give us a phone call if you have any questions about your travel. So that's pretty much it on STA Travel. I'm happy to take any questions at this point, but we really do appreciate you guys tuning in during your lunchtime to listen a little bit about STA. Should we take the questions?
Okay, so our first question is from Bob Kenny, and he is asking, as an adjunct professor, if there's any type of teacher discount card or professor discount card that's available through STA Travel.
Hi there, yes, that's a great question. Yes, we do have teacher discount cards. They are called the PIC cards, ITIC. They are available if you give us a phone call, and that number on one of the last slides. And just give them a phone call, tell us where you are a teacher, and we can issue one of those cards right there over the phone. That card will be valid for 1 year. It's multi-trip, and then also comes with over 100,000 discounts. You are also, as a teacher, eligible for some of our teacher airfares.
And is there a cost to that card?
Great question. It's $25 for the basic card.
Okay, so our next question is from William Kilduff, who did join us a little bit late, and he asked if STA Travel was available to those older than 30 years old, and I did answer him and say yes, but he was wondering what the specific benefits were for anyone that's older than 30 years old.
Sure, that's a really good question. Really, for the most part, the best rates will be for the people under the age of 30 in terms of some of our more flexible contracts. That being said, STA in general has the ability to book travel for anyone, and we do have contracts that really ran the full gamut. So it certainly is worth giving us a phone call or an email just to see whether or not we, some of our competitively priced rates that we have. Specifically, I would say that the best rates for the general population would be for our international flights. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, so we have next question from a participant was to provide some examples of some of the paid jobs or gigs that you have with UNAC, so some of the examples.
Sure, that's a really, really good question. So it can really vary on the destination. I would say if you're interested in Australia, a lot of the UNAC paid jobs would be hospitality focused. That being said, if you do have a specific area of interest that you would like to be looking at, we can certainly get you in touch with someone in BUNAC to kind of go over if you are, for example, more interested in marketing. We can certainly see if we can find a good fit. I personally did a BUNAC right after my graduate program in England, and I was able to stay in England just outside of London for 6 months, fully paid job where I was working for a study abroad company, and I was doing student development work and student services. So that's one option. But the ones in the UK typically are more professionally located, that you cannot do hospitality for the most part in the UK. So it is a really great option for someone who is looking for that professional experience, really put something on a resume.
Okay, next we have, is there a best day of the week to book flights? This is from Tom, who says he's heard it's Tuesday, but is wondering if that is an urban myth.
Yeah, that's a really good question. We get that one a lot too. In our experience, it's an urban myth. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason to when the best tickets are released. That being said, I mean, I suppose that maybe there is something the airlines are not telling us, but it's not something that we are aware of. In terms of when you should be booking, typically those, try to be booking on the tickets Monday through Thursday, simply because those are the best dates to arrive and depart. But I wish I had the answer for you. If you ever find out, let me know.
Our next question is from Janet Brooks, and she asks, if you are taking one college course per semester, are you still entitled to get a student card for discounts? Are there any age restrictions on international student cards?
That's a great question. You should be eligible for the PIC Card. There is no age restriction on the PIC Card as long as you are a student, as long as you can prove that you are a student, if you have a student card of some sort, or a letter stating that you are a student. We do have a youth card, and that typically, I believe, goes up to the age of 30. But again, give us a phone call, and we'd be able to figure out what would be the best fit for you for that card.
Okay. I have my own question about the specific Northeastern University discount, the $30 discount. Are there any restrictions or, blackout dates or locations that cannot be used on?
Great question. For the most part, you will be able to apply that $30 to anything with the minimum purchase of $150. So that typically would cover any of your domestic travel. And that's exclusive for Northeastern alumni. So really, that's the best benefit, I'd say, especially if you're looking for a place and not within that 30-year-old age range. But we will apply it to really anything. It's just that minimum purchase.
Okay, I'm going to ask another question. In your, you work for STA Travel. What has been your favorite travel experience? I mean, work or pleasure, that you've taken in the past?
That's a really good question. I would say my absolute favorite trip that I've taken was to South Africa. It takes a very long time to get there, but it is well worth it while you are there. It's a fascinating place to travel to, whether you're interested in just staying in Cape Town or going up and doing one of the safaris. It's just a really unique place to travel. So I would say that's my all-time favorite trip that I've taken. But of course, London will always have a place in my heart because I lived there for over 2 years. I also studied abroad there when I went to Northeastern. So again, it's a place that I'll continue traveling back and forth to. So I'd say if the question was favorite place to continue to go to, London. I'd say all-time favorite trip, once in a lifetime trip, was to South Africa.
Okay, so we don't have any further questions, so we're going to wrap up this session. I want to thank Daisy for providing such a comprehensive and fantastic presentation. I know I'm inspired to travel now more than ever, not like I needed a reason to be anyway. And I also wanted to thank Jovan for ensuring that everything ran smoothly throughout the session. So next steps to follow up on this presentation, we'll be sending a survey. We greatly value your feedback, so please take a minute to fill that out. A link to this recording will also be included for your reference, or if you would like to share the presentation with your network. This webinar was only the first in our 3-part series of webinars featuring Northeastern benefits partners this spring. So please be sure to check out the remaining 2. We have Better Money Habits featuring personal finance as a topic on March 15th, and Liberty Mutual covering auto insurance on April 12th. So we hope to see you all there. Thank you.